So getting closer now, we've pushed all the lights in, so they're all in position permanently now. You can't pull them out without a massive hassle anywhere. We've just put the old bed switch in, so that's in permanently too. Finished wiring up the what's it called? The tow bar wiring. The tow bar's on and it's up down there. That's disgusting. That's got to be the dog. That's a big...
I can't see a dog doing that.
It's too big for a cat. Unless it's a badger or something.
No, I think you've done all that a bit tight. Will that pull back through?
You'd have to loosen them off. You said do it tight.
I mean, in here.
Oh, in the van? Yeah, they were slacking. So now we're just going to start putting on the body bits. So that can go back on, bumpers going back on, lights can go in. And we're getting really close to sending it back down to there to get the unit fitted. We've just tested the bed switch, that's all working, all the lights are working. We've not had any issues with any electronics yet, touch wood. And yeah, we need to do something with these back doors, but can do that at a later date. So just finishing plumbing. Doug's having a terrible old day. Doing my plumbing, Dad's walking around, making sure everything's okay. He's stood in dog crap and brought it in the brand new van. He's not happy. So this is all plumbed in now. The inlet for this tap, this is the outlet. It runs underneath. It's not plugged in power wise yet. So this is all more or less done behind here. We just need to put some insulation tape around these, fasten them to the back there, and we'll wire all that in when we've got the rear unit on. So we've done more or less what we can now, minus little odds and sods for inside. So we've just tested all the electric bed. Everything is going pretty smoothly actually. Dog crap. Dog crap everywhere. Sad it. So a bit more wiring now. So we're just wiring this up, plugging it all in, getting ready.
Alright. So you don't want any electrical wire
showing.
And it wants to be full length into thing, all that, nice and neat.
Not like that earth is in there that I've just done.
Why is that showing earthing so bad? But
it's showing a millimetre.
Yeah, earth is alright. That's right.
It's all really simple. 3 wires go into this. It says on it live, neutral, earth. Then they all have to feed through there first, just like that. So I'm going to snip it about here, because we just don't need all that extra wire dangling around. So 2 seconds later, really quick job. See on the thing there, live for the brown, blue for the neutral, and yellow for the earth. That just goes back in there, so that's ready. No, that's already done. That didn't sound good. Right. It's got a hinge on it. All back on. Didn't know it's been off. I always second guess myself on the placement of them, but we couldn't have really had them here because it's a long way to go for the water. So yeah, I think that's the best option. So just doing some wiring on inside now, I'll talk you through it. So we've numbered all these down here on this miniature wiring diagram, 1, 2, 3, and they all have a use. Mine is in number 5, the only one that doesn't have a use. So for example, the sink is number 8. So we know from the back, number 8, which is this one. So all the wire runs from 8, we can trace it from there, and then what I'm doing now is plugging the actual wire in from, for example, from there, because this is what powers the sink. There's the water pump, so it goes from there up, around, mists around, up here to the back, and the wire splits number 8 there, and then up and across nice and neat to number 8 there. and then that feeds to the actual switch. This is the neutrals, the same with number 7, which is this one. 7 comes out, goes to the wire, then number 7 goes up, and then the same with 6. 5's the blank one, and then 4, 3, 2 and 1. And I've just confused myself with something else, but we'll come back to that. So that's just what I'm doing now. So each wire, for example, this main feed wire, which is next, so I'll chop it down. It's like that at the minute. Put a little red clip on the end, and then that just goes up in there. This is clamped onto that, and then if we ever need to pull them out, you can just unscrew it, pull it out, and the end doesn't get worn away. So that's good. So the neater the better for these. So you have one wire going across there, one going across there, and you want them all super neat, otherwise it turns out to a rat's nest. Believe it or not, this is neat, even though it doesn't look it. So yeah, time consuming but not a tough job. Done that now, so they're all wired up. So it doesn't look the neatest actually, but they're all there in the right order. So now we should be able to see everything working off these. Yep, 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 yep. Look at that. Awesome. So Super Doug's been tidying these wires up some more. All looking more presentable now. And then in the last few minutes he's just finished wiring up the Eberspacher diesel heater. Turned it on cold air only because we've not plumbed in the diesel part of it yet. Blowing out cold air at a rate of knots. And then just cleared up all the space for the back. Gonna try test fit in the bed frame and plugging that in, make sure the switch over there works. And we're getting somewhere. I don't think we need to do much more now, do we, Doug? Before we can have a mess with that front end, speaker wires and what have you, if we fancy this weekend. But there's not much more we need to do before it goes back down there to get the rest of the unit fitted. Just getting ready to put the bed in now. Give it a quick wipe down because it looked disgusting. Are you ready?
Go for it, Dave.
Plugged in.
Yeah. You have to pull that. How does it work? What's supposed to happen?
So you pull this. Oh, it's going to hit the thing.
Hold on. So that would work.
Oh, because we've put a greater tool in here.
I don't think. I say it might be a 15 amp fuse for all I know. I'm not sure.
Well, the opposite. Ooh, a bit stiffer.
That is close. But that may have to go that way a bit.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, which is right. You could adjust the motor, so you might put a bigger fuse in if that's 15 amp. But I'll bang a 15. 20. I've got a load more in. Ah, that's what that's for. It cuts out. Just pull that out again, try dropping it. Might be fuses blown. It must have a sensor in this, and that one is just to start it for the down. So it'll have a sensor in motor here. So you don't want it to get to the thing and overload it.
Oh. In front it. Guys, we're back and the van is looking done-ish. So all the units are fitted now. Really nice fit. We've got all the slidey doors, the clips, 2 lights in there. All scribed perfectly. Carpet's all done nice and neat now. So the van's looking done, but we need to wire the fridge in. That's just in place. We need to screw this on, but that's not on because we're gonna, the floor's not screwed in yet, it's just placed in. And we need to plumb in the diesel heater, which is underneath, which is why it's on these again. And then what else? Oh yeah, the tow bar, that's why all this is here, the tow bar electronics. So we spent, oh this was frustrating, we spent 2 days, well 2 half a days, so 1 full day on that unit there, plugging in all the electronics. For the tow bar, your left indicator, your right indicator, your brakes, blah de blah de blah. Couldn't figure out why none of it was working. We figured the unit were broke. Figured out after a few hours, we figured out the unit wasn't broke. So we plugged it all back in, went through it again. Still weren't working at the rear end. The tow bar lights. So we have this little tool here, and it tells you focus, focus, all your different lights and whether they're working or not. Couldn't not get it to work. Turns out we had this on back to front, so we had the output on the input. So obviously nothing was working. So we just need to finish that off now. Yeah. With the job, we'll just have to fix that trim at the back there. Sink's all sealed in. All the electronics are plugged in, minus the fridge. We've had a special box made at the front there, which isn't actually boxed in, that's just the table there. So that's all open on the front, so you can still access all the electronics. And we just need to plug the dash. Oh, that's another thing we need to do, plug the speakers in. And the reverse camera, so that's going to be a little bit of faffing. But the van is looking good.